Okay, I want to give a quick shout out to those who are presenting tonight. So if each of the faculty instructors who are going presenting or the division representatives presenting for your programs tonight, can you do a brief introduction, some quick bullet, and then we'll go right into your presentations. Albert, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Albert Engel. I'm our full-time faculty at South Seattle College. I also run our makerspace and run our Rocket Club at South Seattle College.
Thank you. Jeff.
Hi, my name is Jeff Fang, he, him pronouns. I'm the Outreach and Student Support Manager, and I work with students in our Computer Science, Bachelor's of Science program, as well as our Application Development, Bachelor's of Applied Science.
Lovely. Julie.
I'm Julie Liderson. I work in the electronics department. We have 5 degree pathways, and I'll tell you about a couple of those today.
And Ross.
I am Ross Lathani Bai. I'm the program specialist for the Sustainable Building Science Technology program, which is a Bachelor's of Applied Science. And yeah, happy to be here.
Fabulous. Thank you all. And thank you for those great introductions. Very short and concise. We'll be more verbose, I'm sure, when you're presenting. Again, reminder to those who are participating and learning, all our guests this evening, to throw your questions into chat, or we will have a nice Q&A at the end where the instructors and all of us can answer questions that you may have. Okay, so let's go forward. Tonight, we're going to have our 5 programs: application development, computer science, or electronics, electronics and engineering technologies, engineering and sustainable building science technology. First, we're going to launch with Jeff. If you're ready to go, let's give you your 5 minutes here.
Yes, thank you. You can go to the next slide. So we have a Bachelor's of Applied Science program at North Seattle College in application development. That program we've had for the past 9 years. The program can be either completed in a full-time or part-time track. Full-time is 6 quarters, which is roughly 2 years, and part-time is 9 quarters, which is 3 years. Our application development program is the most flexible in terms of the format of the class. You can either attend the class in person, virtually over Zoom, or online, 100% online. The program also has a flexible start date. We admit students fall, winter, and spring quarter. And maximum class size is 28 students. And some prerequisites for students that need to meet before they can be admitted to the program is some programming classes, CSE 110 and 142, which is an intro to programming class, and object-oriented programming class, which is Java. Pre-calculus or statistics. IT 125 is a database class. IT 102 and 161 is a JavaScript class. And IT 135 is Linux and English 101. And we're located at North Seattle College. Next slide. Some highlights about our program. Because it's a applied degree, it is a heavy emphasis on practicum and group work. So if you like getting hands-on with your learning, it's a great option for students. It's also, we offer, because we're so small, we offer very high level of support from both our faculty and staff, such as myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the next slide. In terms of careers, our program gives opportunities for students to either do a capstone project or internship for credit. Potential job titles for graduates in the program, primarily entry-level software developer types of roles. In terms of alumni from our program, we've got many students who graduated for our program working in some big name companies such as Amazon, Slalom, Microsoft, Expedia, Google, Disney, Starbucks, etc. So we have a lot of employment data for students graduating from our application development program. Next slide. Computer science, on the other hand, is a newish program. Were there questions?
Were there questions about, yeah, let's just, I'm looking up chat now.
It's at 5 minutes, so I was trying to be fast.
If I do not have those prerequisites, where do I take them?
You can take them at any of the community colleges. So it could be at North Seattle, Seattle Central, South Seattle College. Those classes that are listed there are taught in many different places.
Okay, and thank you, Carla, for your question. That's all the questions for right now. We can go on to computer science.
Yeah, so computer science is our newest program. We started that program in 2021, and it's a Bachelor's of Science program. It's very similar to the application development in terms of length. You can either complete the program on a full-time or part-time track, 6 quarters or 9 quarters. That program is a little bit less flexible in terms of attendance. We do require in-person, but all the classes are taught in the evening. So depending on if you're taking classes part-time or full-time, you're looking at either meeting anywhere between 1 to 2 to 3 times a week. The program has a less flexible start date. We only admit students for fall quarter. In terms of class sizes, a maximum class size is 28, so that's the size of our cohort. In terms of prerequisites, there's 3 programming classes, CSE 110, 142, and 143. In terms of math, we require pre-calculus and statistics, and English 101. Next slide. Some highlights. Our program actually is able to be, we are able to offer the computer science program at North in large part because of our partnership with Amazon. They provide a lot of funding and support for our program. So they are a big proponent, a big advocate of our program. In terms of what you'll be learning, the computer science program, it's a much more theory focused, so more heavy on like the math, the algorithms, less so on the application. So if that's what you're really wanting to get into, like understanding the computer science theory, then that's a great option for you. Exciting new thing that we're starting this upcoming fall is that we're looking to open up a brand new cohort for data science. So we're looking to hopefully launch 2 cohorts in the spring, in the fall, 1 general track and 1 data science track.
How many people do you admit for each track?
Up to 28.
You're still okay for each one.
So per cohort, maximum cohort size.
Like you said. Cool. And a quick question here. Does Amazon provide scholarships for students?
Amazon does not provide direct scholarships right now for students. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
They do, their funding goes through the Seattle foundations. So they provide support in other ways. One of the ways that they've done that is that we've got a brand new computer lab that has been that we've been able to get off the ground because of that funding. We're also looking at getting a student lounge using that money.
Awesome.
In terms of careers, that program also offers a capstone project or internship opportunity. Potential job titles, we're looking at students being able to get more software development engineer types of roles, as well as if you're pursuing the data science track, data scientist, data engineer, machine learning engineer. And we're excited to be able to graduate our first cohort of students so next quarter, spring 2024. And we don't have any implement data because of that as well, because we're so new.
Yeah. And is there a wait list for this program?
We do have a wait list. If we reach the cap, which we did last year, we'll start a running wait list. So we accept students all the way up until the start of fall quarter, which is what we ended up doing last year. So applications are currently open from now all the way until fall.
Thank you. That sounds awesome. Okay, I don't see any other questions at this point, so we'll proceed. Okay, Julie.
Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
I'm going to tell you about 2 of the associate degrees that have really similar names in the electronics department. One is called the Electronics Technology degree, and the other is the Electronics Engineering Technology. And they've got quite a few of the same courses involved, but there's some really distinct differences, specifically with regard to the math and the physics required for these programs. And the one with the longer title is actually a transfer degree. So to give you a little more context, within the electronics department, we have 5 different degree options. And those are distributed across 3 different areas of study. So these are 2 of our degrees that happen to fall into the STEM category. Both are Associate of Applied Science. The electronics technology is designed for students to complete the program, move straight into the workforce. The electronics engineering technology is designed for students to either move into the workplace, or it is a limited transfer degree. They could apply to a Bachelor's of Science program at Central Washington University. It's an electronics engineering bachelor's program. So in both of these degrees, you're going to take a broad range of electronics courses. In the electronics technology degree, you'll be completing math that is applied math contextualized for electronics. You'll be completing an applied physics course. Whereas in the other degree, you're going to be going deep into calculus, multiple calculus courses, multiple engineering physics courses. And again, you have the option to transfer if you'd like to do that. If you don't want to transfer into a bachelor's program right away out of that associate degree program, you will have completed already several of the calculus, physics, technical writing, several of those transferable classes that would be transferable into any bachelor's program if you wanted to do that. Completing within 8 quarters, sometimes 7 quarters is doable for these programs. If a student comes in and they haven't met the placement requirements, maybe they need a little more math before they're ready for calculus, for instance, that could impact the completion pace. They're in-person programs, so all electronics courses require in-person attendance. We've got 5 labs, all housed in the same building. So you're going to lecture and then you're stepping across the hallway or down a floor and you're moving into lab. You're spending more than half of your time is spent working in labs. Our class size, 16 to 24 is the good estimate. An outlier class would be closer to 30 students, but you also may have classes that are about a dozen students. The placement requirement for the electronics technology degree is we need you to place into basically be algebra ready. The other degree, the one is that's the transfer with a longer title, electronics engineering technology. We need to see that you place into pre-calculus, which is math 141. And English, we want to ultimately, all of our associate degrees and our one-year certificates, you're going to need to take English 101. So we want to see what your English placement is before you get started. And all classes are at North. And like with many of our associate degrees, you may be taking some general ed courses such as English 101. And those are courses that you can take those online. There's generally in-person, online, hybrid options. We're not a cohort model. So you can get started any quarter, fall, winter preferred. I work with students to build out their academic plans individually. So we'll kind of take into account your availability, your academic, your career goals, and the quarter you get started and see if you've already completed some courses required for that program. We'll take that all into account. And how about next slide?
Will do.
So in terms of highlights, so both of these programs, you're getting a really strong foundation in electronics technology. So you're going to have courses that are in a wide range of circuits. You're going to be doing some fiber optics, robotics. Depending on which of the degrees that you're completing, you may have courses in avionics, which is aviation electronics, in IT, in PLCs, which are programmable logic controllers. I think of them as hardy industrial computers, hydraulics, pneumatics, metrology. And again, if you're in one of the degrees, you're going to be the electronics technology, you're going to be doing applied math, applied physics, more contextualized for electronics. If you're doing the electronics engineering technology, you're going deep into the calculus and the engineering physics sequence. And let's go on to the last slide.
That is fabulous when you speak about the applied math and all, because I don't think everybody realizes that you don't just take the math in generic math and where am I going to use this again, right? You're getting the math you need for the workplace.
Yeah. So our graduates from these programs, as well as our other degree programs, they tend to move into positions initially that have technician in the title. So these are some examples: avionics technician, calibration technician, robotics technician, electronics technician, and there are more titles as well. And once in industry, I commonly see students moving through or graduates moving through a trajectory of the different technician levels. At that point, they might move when they've kind of maxed out there. They may be very happy in their role as a technician, and they may want to move into a management role opportunity to move into potentially engineering positions, sales and marketing. So a variety of opportunities there. And I think an important thing to share is where our faculty come from industry. They've got a lot of really relevant experience and connections in industry, and they're a really tremendous resource for students as you're refining your interests and understanding kind of what are your academic goals and how do those align to where you would like to land in industry, and kind of what roles do you want to play in industry. And our employers, really broad range of who those folks are. There's kind of those big, widely recognized names. We've all heard of Amazon and Boeing and Blue Origin. And then there are those smaller ones that, or at least less widely recognized names that I am always really interested to learn about. Like on this slide, I guess we've got BD Sciences listed. So they're developing medical technology that's looking at cells and diseases, like at the cellular level. And electronic skills are required there. Eagle Technologies, that's another small one. They're working with high-tech robotics. Synrad, they manufacture CO2 lasers with a wide range of applications in industry. So there's a pretty broad range of employers, and there really isn't a sector of the workplace where electronics isn't highly relevant. So hopefully that's given you kind of a peek into a couple of our degree pathways, and I'm happy to meet with anyone to kind of talk through and see if this might be a good fit for you. And I do talk with the students a lot, and I know we've got engineering coming up next, but I do get to talk with a lot of students who are kind of deciding, do I want to go into an engineering pathway, an engineering bachelor's program? Do I want to focus on one of these programs in electronics? Do I want to do the degree that's kind of a hybrid of the applied electronics as well as those transferable to any engineering program? And happy to kind of explore those one-on-one with students.
Julie, do you want to put your contact information in chat?
I will do that.
Okay, well, let's move on. I don't see any other questions. And Jeff, thank you for jumping in, answering questions about computer science. I see you're doing that. Okay, on to engineering, Albert.
Hi there, I'm Albert Engel, and I'm here to talk about engineering. Give me the next slide, please. All right, so the degrees that we offer at South Seattle College, North Seattle, and Central are all Associates of Science. So these are transfer degrees. They prepare you to, with all the math and science skills that you need, and we talked about some of the higher level math and engineering level physics that we do, and teach you how to design and problem solve. Because of that requirement, they take a full 9-quarter, which is a little bit longer, but it's definitely worth it, I think. All of our classes are kind of offered in a face-to-face or a hybrid format. We have some online class options, and our engineering students also take classes outside of engineering to make them better at interfacing with culture and people. That's what engineers do. We meet people in the middle and technology, and we put them together, and you need to understand the people as well. So we do have some online classes, but most of our STEM classes, a lot of our science courses, of course, are face-to-face for the making sure that we have places for doing labs and things like that. We don't have a full cohort system. A lot of our students start in the fall, and that's kind of what I suggest if you're thinking about it, but you can absolutely start in winter or spring and get caught up. Just make sure you meet with me or your advisor and talk about your plan, because there's a lot of prerequisites in engineering. We got to do it. There's a particular order that you need to do your classes in to make sure that you are ready for the next class. Our students start at all different levels of math and English. The big one is placing into Math 98 or English 101. Those are the big ones. And we offer this at North, Central, and South. I teach at South, so I'm going to speak to South specifically, but a lot of the classes that we offer are similar, but maybe not have all the cool bells and whistles that we have at South. Move on to the next slide. Some highlights of the program itself. The big thing, like I talked about, is it's about being able to quantitatively model. So we're talking about using math to analyze and solve complex problems. That's the big thing. We want to make sure that we're using all of those tools that we learn in physics and math to help us solve those problems. The big thing that I like to focus on in my classes is making it about project learning and active learning. I want to make sure that you are feeling connected to it and seeing those connections with the stuff that you learned. I feel like when I was studying, it was always a challenge for me to connect those things. I try to make it more explicit. One of the things that we get to do at South, because we teach our classes in the makerspace, is we actually design, prototype, and build stuff in the makerspace. So right now, our dynamic students are building models of things that of the types of problems that they're solving to help them understand that. Going on to the next slide. We have lots of different careers in engineering. So there's actually like 3.
We have won competition against some really big university, being most of the time the only community college that competes. We have received first place year after years in the NASBITE competition. And Kate, please take it from here. I don't have a slide, and Nonorio is not here, so I'm just,
Well,
talking
that's
too much.
okay. You
Go
know,
ahead.
that's how we roll here at North Seattle College. We support one another, and sometimes there's technical difficulties, and we just wing it and make the best of it. So thank you, Nausicaa. Just for those of you who might be interested in the International Business Program, I advise for the International Business Bachelor's as well. Nausicaa gave some great highlights. The prerequisites and the entry requirements are the same. So if you were paying attention to me earlier about accounting, it's 75 credits and the 6 prereqs. And for those of you who are on the beginning of your pathway, the direct transfer.
And then, things, other vehicle design and things like that. And you can see the median wage for that is about 104,000. And then the next slide, I want to make sure we have plenty of time. We also have an electrical engineering. So if you are 100% sure that you're like, hey, what I'm really interested in doing is modeling complex systems and doing big, large scale projects, this is a little bit different than our technician programs. The big part of it, some things that we do that are different, big systems like power systems for buildings, how we design power grids, power generation, controls engineering, all of this stuff boils down to more of an electrical engineering. This is going to be more design based and theory based, using those skills that you learn in your physics and your calculus courses to solve really cool, complex problems in lots of different fields. For every mechanical engineer, there's an electrical engineer working side by side with them. So that's been my experience talking to people that work in those fields. All right, that's next slide, please.
Yes. Oh, Albert, before we go on to sustainable building, you might want to check the chat. We do have a couple questions here, like what engineering marketplaces, I think she says, and labs.
Makerspaces.
Oh, it is makerspaces. Oh, there you go. So if you want to read through those, what makerspaces and labs are available at North Seattle Central?
I honestly, I don't have an answer for that, since I don't teach at those spaces. I haven't had a chance to visit them, so I can't answer that question, but I'm sure somebody in the district might have that information that can help you with that. If you want to major in healthcare, technology management, at the same time you want a certificate in IT control electronics. Oh, that's a great question. That might be a better question for Julie than me.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes. Sorry, the IT controlled electronics and the healthcare technology management / biomedical equipment technology degree, they require many of the same courses. Talk with me and we can look at what plan makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And then software engineering.
Yeah, software engineering is not my forte. I work with physical engineering. I don't do any of that soft ooey gooey stuff. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't have that experience. But I would say that for a lot of students that are interested in software engineering, they get an associate's degree related to computer science, and that can put them in the right track to do a transfer. But I'm not an expert in that. And I think we had a previous expert, Jeff, that might be able to answer that question better than I can.
Yes, you can, if you go through.
Sorry.
Hi, Seth.
Hi.
Have you been summoned to help with the accounting breakout room?
I was confused. I wasn't sure. I got a message from you, Barb, or at least somebody said
Yeah,
we needed help.
Yeah, it was from me. He was having trouble sharing his presentation midway through. His screen went black, and I'm driving, so I couldn't help him with his sharing stuff.
Yeah, I think Seth, if you could hop into business and accounting to help troubleshoot.
I thought Spencer was in there. Is that you, Spencer? I know you have another alias, but okay, so you want me to go in there and see if I can get that presentation. All right.
Yeah, he's not able to share it full. He got it back up, but now he can't share it full screen.
Okay, I'll come in there and see what I can do.
I just came from there, and Nick is actually sharing screen, and I asked Spencer to take over because Nick's not in presenter mode. So I asked Spencer to take over.
Is it working now?
What? I'm not sure if he did, so I'm gonna go back in.
I'll go, I'll check it out too.
You want to go in? Okay.
Sure.
Should I go over to STEM?
Yeah, I mean, STEM's working great, so
Okay.
yeah, you want to go over to STEM and I'll go to accounting.
Or Rexel, do you want to go to STEM so I can lead if anyone else comes in here?
Yeah, I'll hop in
check on that
STEM.
for a second.
If I don't come back, assume everything's okay in STEM.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Bye.
If you wanted to go, we have several students who've moved from our program directly to a master's degree in real estate at the University of Washington. Our program directly correlates with that. And we have lots of other partnerships, as you see here. You see CBRE, Blanton Turner. And in fact, Mr. Barry Blanton of Blanton Turner, one of the founders, is our premiere episode of our podcast, our All Things Real Estate show. Ask us about that. We'll point you to it. He's actually our first episode. It's a wonderful interview. He's also a huge part of IREM, other companies like Goodman Real Estate, Colliers International, Wiedner, Thrive, Kidder Matthews. And if any of you are hockey fans, think about Thrive. They help manage the hockey stadium over there in North Seattle. And we're plugged in. We're doing quite a bit of things with them. They also have incredible internship growth program. We have several students both in our class now that works there, and several students that have graduated and work there, and Kidder Matthews and others. And again, corporate real estate. Just think about Amazon, Microsoft, those kind of companies. CBRE is the direct manager of the largest companies in the world. We are partnering in those relationships to help our students get to any aspect that you want. You can see I'm excited about this. It's big stuff. Next slide, please. Oh, I forgot to mention this last thing. Think about this for a minute. You get this degree. A lot of times people struggle even with certain business degrees to get a job. Our students are getting out and our average salaries are upwards of $85,000 to $90,000. It's really amazing. And directly with the degree, we are getting people put to work with livable wages here in one of the most expensive cities in the world. So if you really want to see something different that you probably didn't know existed, check out with our team, Kate and Sean, who just popped in, Armor, or the rest of the colleagues, or any of our business programs. You're going to have an awesome time. You're going to do amazing things. Welcome to Seattle Colleges, y'all.
50 degree. Some opportunities are engineer, energy auditors, sustainability specialists, environmental engineering technicians, management analysis. One of the things that we talk about too is building a community, and that's our ability. That's wanting to connect with alumni. We have lots of partnerships across the city with people in King County and the city of Seattle. Hermanson, McKinstry are some of the names that people go on to work with, or some of our alumni work with. And we do have a 100% job placement, and that's a lot of that comes to looking at the labor data as well, as that these jobs are also going to stay in demand. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, and one of the exciting things that is happening right now is that the F50 program is partnering with King County to put on the Sustainability Symposium and Green Jobs Fair, which is happening tomorrow night. If anyone's interested in coming down to Georgetown from 4 to 7 to learn a little bit about more of the industry and the jobs that are going to be offered. SBST students are also going to be delivering their capstone presentations. So it's also a good opportunity to get a good opportunity to talk to some current students. And you can go to, yeah, thanks.
Susan, you're muted. And Rachel did say that we should just stay in here for any additional
Yes, we are.
questions.
Yes, we're going to stay in here. We're never going to go. We get to stay connected and not go separate into the large room because you're here because you're interested in these two STEM areas. And we're going to do our best to answer all of your questions, but I don't see any additional questions in chat at this time. I think it's looking pretty good. Let's see here. Okay, so far so good. Oh, here's a quick question. What percentage of applicants get accepted to the community colleges? I'll be happy to answer that question. At this point, I would tell you that 100% of students who wish to attend our colleges will get in to the Seattle colleges, particularly since there's no application fee. There's really no restriction between you applying, submitting that application, and us processing it. It takes anywhere from 1 to 3 days to get an answer from our colleges that you are accepted. I hope that answers your questions. And then one thing I wanted to did speak to, you'll see in a lot of the presentations this evening, you saw where people referred to prereqs. And then we saw underneath prereq, there was place into or placement into. Many times, for those of you who are within 10 years of high school, some of those high school classes, or if you took any particular advanced placement testing or advanced placement classes, you've already taken the prereqs you need. And other times, if you have to place into math or English, the Seattle colleges offer directed self-placement. It is free. There's no fee. It's not like an SAT test. It's not timed. It's self-placed. You answer a series of questions. In math, you do a series of calculations and processes, and then you can determine where you feel you are succeeding. And it's honestly self-placement. And then you work with your advisor, and our advisors help you to get into the class that then you're going to be successful at and not have to struggle at initially. So I really wanted to bring that up as a big advantage for the Seattle colleges doing directed self-placements for free. Okay, what else do we see? For everybody here, all of our guests tonight, you are so welcome just to raise your hand. I can stop sharing also. But in the meantime, we do have our next steps as well. And the Go to Seattle Colleges link is going to offer us a chance, if you can fill it out, that the survey tells us what you enjoyed tonight and what we could have done better. It also is going to have a chance for you to give us feedback on what you want to know more about. And then we can follow up with you and we can guide you through your next steps. That can go anywhere from career specific, areas of study specific, from these really well-versed, experienced experts in the field, the faculty, or maybe about admissions, might be about financial aid. Go into the survey. Not only will you give us feedback about tonight's program, but we'll be able to link up with you so that we can then help you with your next steps. That's going to be key tonight. I can put that into chat as well.
Hey, Susan, I see a question I can answer. Is this a good time for me to answer questions?
Oh, absolutely. Go through the chat, all. Yeah, go ahead.
Jayla had a question about what are the options for transferring to a four-year university after completing the engineering program. The good news is after you receive your two-year program, your two-year associate's degree at South or Central or North in engineering, there's lots of transfer options. There's 3 UW campuses that are available. There's actually the UW Tacoma program is just for transfer students, so that's a great option for a lot of our students. But we also have a lot of students go to UW Seattle or UW Bothell. I have a lot of my students end up at Seattle U or SPU in Seattle, Seattle Pacific University. There's just tons of engineering schools throughout Washington State. And then also I've had students who moved down to California or Arizona to go to schools there. So there's tons of transfer options. As far as are you able to complete the engineering program in 1 year? No, our engineering program usually takes like 2.5 to 3 years for our students. But it really depends on you and where you're starting in the math sequence, because that is the not a barrier, but it's the first challenge, and you have to complete your calculus before you can get into your physics and then your engineering classes. So getting that taken care of usually takes about 2.5 years. So that ends up being usually a 3-year plan, but we do have some students who start at a higher math level that do it in 2 years. But I don't think it would happen in 1 year unless you've had a lot of prereqs coming from somewhere else.
Can I specify about that question?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, for doing 1 year of the engineering program, is it possible to just do 1 year's worth of the normal engineering program and then complete my associate's degree at a 4-year university? Is that a possibility if I decide I want to do that?
Yeah, there are some students that do some classes and then transfer in. I would say specifically.
Hello, welcome back.
Well,
Hello.
Hello.
People
Did you all?
coming back right now, so.
Yes. Did you all finish up?
I don't know. I was listening.
No, we're not
No?
finished. No,
Okay. Should I reopen the room so you can go back? I don't know
that
what
would,
happened. Okay, I'll open the rooms again.
I don't think we got the STEM room. Oh,
What happened?
I don't, oh, there it is. Okay, I'll join them now.
Okay.
I guess it just has some latency. All right.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I got stuck
Yeah.
in that room.
Yeah, only some people came back too, so that.
In case we get cut off.
Awesome, thank you.
I see a question from Eric about the fire science program, and I don't see it listed on the presentation happening tomorrow evening, but I can tell you that on March 14th from 3:30 to 6:30 at North Seattle College, there will be a table of representatives from fire science and EMT programs. So if you want to come to that, that would be a great opportunity for you to talk to Megan Bloomingdale. She'd be a great resource for fire science.
thank you, Julie. Then I put my email in there too if you wanted to. I want me to connect you with Megan. Sorry for that little technical disruption we had. Okay, so are there other questions here? Feel free just to jump in. We have such great experts with us tonight.
I see another one to jump in on. I think Isaac is asking about the self-guided placement tests, or what we call the DSPs, the directed self-placement
Yes.
tests. I can tell you at North, and I suspect it's the same at South and Central, that if you go to the student tab on the website and then go to testing, or somewhere on the college website, go to testing, you'll be able to find math DSP and English DSP. It's, you know, giving you kind of sample questions and letting you determine what are you comfortable with? So with this math question, is this entirely familiar to you? And I understand this. Is it like, well, show me how to solve it. And you see an example and you go, well, that's kind of familiar, but I think I need a review. Or is this something I've never seen before? So you get to make a really informed decision about what level is the most appropriate.
Absolutely. That's a great hands-on kind of description, Julie. And I put the link into the chat so you can get right to the bottom of that page. That's the placement page. At the very bottom will be directed self-placement, and you'll have links there. And then with that, I put also my email in, because in admissions, we are here to make sure that you know how to take your next steps from inquiry where you are now to actually moving through the placement. So feel free to reach out. Oh, thank you, Albert. Perfect. I always forget, because even though I'm North, but I always connect with, as soon as I came to North, I've always been part of the district. So I always try to represent South and Central, but I don't say that. So thank you so much for putting that in. Really appreciate that. Do you want a different link? Were you able to get the link for the survey? Our team is going to send it out to you as well. But if you needed some additional information, I can put that into chat, I believe. So just let me know. Other than that, if there's no additional questions, I want to thank everybody. You were awesome. And I love the interaction with our guests. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Oh, I have a question. How can we yes, what's the question? We can ask it now if you wish, or you can chat.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I asked about what are the BES or associate degrees available programs related to software development or application development or data science or AI that are presented by Seattle College?
I can talk about that. So North Seattle College, we offer 2 bachelor's programs, one in application development and one in computer science. Our application development is a bachelor's of applied science degree, and our computer science is a bachelor's of science program. In terms of data science is actually part of computer science. It's just a separate track. So it's not a separate degree itself. It's part of our computer science BS program. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but I still that came up with another question if you allow me to ask it. I already have a bachelor degree, but outside United States, if I evaluated that degree and wanted to join one of the BES applied bachelor degrees program, am I being able to get benefit from the courses that I studied earlier?
Yes. So if you have a prior bachelor's degree, we have plenty of students who are who have a bachelor's degree, who was looking to get a second bachelor's degree with us. We do accept students, and those credits that you previously took, like your general education, your elective credits, they can apply towards our bachelor's programs. So if that's the case, you would only need to take 70 college credits of upper division, like CS classes or AD classes, which is 14 classes total. That's assuming that you also have all your prerequisites done.
Yeah, I have a couple of years of experience, but trying to get a second degree from United States will help me a lot to get back on my career here. Also, I can benefit from the job placement or internship program that offered by the college by finishing the program.
Yeah, for sure. I put my email in the chat. If you want to set up an appointment with me, we can talk about that further.
Yeah, sure. I will copy that and I will definitely send
And I
you an
can
yeah.
offer a comment that might be useful, just because when I've worked with students who have degrees from their home country and they're wanting to have that transferred in and recognized here at a college in the US, at least at North and at the Seattle colleges, students have to have their transcripts translated into English, and they're working with a third-party agency, like outside of the college, who's going to work through, look at what they've completed at their college outside of the US. They need to then kind of come up with a report that that North or South or Central can look at to say, okay, this is what you completed. How does this align to our requirements, and what could we transfer in? But the biggest barrier I've seen with students who have a degree from outside of the US is that they have to go through that third-party evaluation. So what it means is that you contact the credentials office at the college that you're looking at, and you say, I've got a degree from outside of the US. How do I have my transcript evaluated? So it's a little additional step when your prior, college experience is from outside of the US. It's a little more difficult.
Yeah, little example, great example. I just put into the chat the International Credit Evaluation process on the webpage. And then there is information on that page that you could reach out to us, and it's the credentials email, as Julie just referenced. So you'll have it all on one page.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get too much into the weeds with it, but I can definitely talk about the specifics there. It is certainly more challenging to get those credits transferred in, and depending on your home country and the classes that you've taken there, it's structured different than our bachelor's degree. That more than likely you'll have classes that you will need to take with us, in addition to the 70 credits that I mentioned.
Absolutely.
We're very flexible when it comes to our elective requirements for our degrees, but when it comes to some of those general education requirements, they're much more specific, and those may or may not be transferred in based off of your transcript.
Jayla had a similar question that was around credentialing, around IB and AP credits. That is something that I think across the district, IB and AP credits are accepted. You would go through the same sort of credential program, or the credentials office, which would evaluate those credentials and give you credit based off of that, or South Seattle College's credit based off of that experience.
And to piggyback off of what Albert's saying, and Jeff, maybe you could clarify if this is what you experienced as with your advising history here, but when we see students who have AP exam scores and they got credit at, say, the UW, and then I look at their transcript because they're completing a degree in electronics and they want those AP credits to transfer, they don't transfer directly from the transcript. Instead, the student has to have their AP score report sent directly to the college. So it's not a matter of, we might see this on your transcript and say, oh, great, that'll transfer in, but you'll have to have your original score report sent directly to the college. And IB, do you know how IB?
International Baccalaureate.
Yeah.
It's a similar process. You just need to have an official transcript submitted. So yeah, it's all original transcripts. If you want to transfer that credit to North or to any school, you have to have the original copy. So if you have it on like a different transcript that was transferred in from another school, you just have to make sure that every credit that you want to transfer into North, you have to have the original copy sent to us. So with AP score, you would have to, for example, contact the College Board to get those transcripts sent over. Susan, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I do that often. Okay, so thank you so much. We have great questions. I can see everything's percolating, and it's more than likely what you've heard tonight will percolate even further. And if you choose to come in person and visit us next week, we are so happy to see you in person at our open houses. Our open house event at each of our campuses is going to be held at various dates. On Monday, it's at Georgetown for our Health Education and Science Center. And then on Tuesday, it's South Seattle is our open house. Wednesday will be, South Central, and Thursday will be North Seattle College, and Friday's Maritime Academy open house. So those links have been sent to you. If they haven't been sent already, they're going to be sent to you. So you'll have all the directions and all the information you need about the topics at these open houses. At the open house, there's going to be information tables, tours, faculty are opening up their departments. So you're going to be able to do more than just grab the paper and chat to other people. You're going to be able to go visit classrooms and visit programs, get a hands-on sense of what happens at each of these campuses. So I highly encourage you to join the open houses and follow up in that way as well. And everyone say, I'll be there if you want to. Oh, Jeff, you'll be there if you want to chat in person. Perfect. I'm sure many people in this room right now, the faculty will be at these open houses. This is going to be a fabulous event. And there's food. That's always a plus. Okay. So you will have questions. I want to tell you that most of our campuses are going to be open. You can walk in and answer questions in general. We have Zoom sessions where we have information sessions. We can help you to explore advising, go to financial aid, or go to admissions and ask some deeper questions as you start to think more about what step do you want to take and which campus is the right campus and what program do you want to actually follow up on. So we're here and we're looking forward to connecting with you further. At this point, thank you very much, and you're welcome to go away and this evening, enjoy the rest of your night. Faculty, thank you so much for your expertise. You've gone above and beyond and shared in the Q&A at such a nice personalized level for all of our guests. I really appreciate that. And we're getting lots of comments. They'll be sure to follow up. Looking forward to it. We have put our emails into the chat and you can reach back out and you will get in a follow-up survey again if you haven't had a chance to fill that out. So have a lovely evening. At this point, you're welcome to exit the room.